to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn. It's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
Sure does.
Yeah.
We had 2 parties last week.
We did. And I enjoyed the pickle vice so much that when I went out to a show on Saturday night, that's what I had. And it was delicious.
Right
and
on.
I made everybody try it at the bar.
So 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., it works for you.
Yeah, it's great.
Right on.
That's great.
We are joined in studio by Tisha Bremner, CEO and owner of Insightful Workplace Solutions. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing swimmingly, thank you.
Love it. -4 this morning.
I know.
Gorgeous.
Wasn't it great?
Gorgeous.
Just
Love it.
great.
Wow,
Yeah.
sirs.
How can you not love
It was
it?
so
Over
chilly.
Yeah.
So chilly. I was telling Mark when I got here, when I go to the gym in the morning, I start my car. And I started my car and put my coat and my shoes on. And I go outside. Started the wrong car.
Oh.
I started the wrong car and it was parked in. And I didn't have the keys, so I had to go back into my house and disarm my alarm, get the keys, turn that car off, and start my actual car that I needed to take to the gym this morning.
You got those white girl problems.
I got first world problems.
Totally. Well, I did 22 runs at Sunday River yesterday.
That's
so I
amazing.
survived it.
It was chilly
so
yesterday. It was
fun.
very windy.
It was, I had neoprene face mask on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was chilly.
Chilly.
But we survived it.
Nice.
Yeah, so fun.
22 runs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Knock it out.
That's pretty
Love
good.
it.
Yeah, my son went skiing yesterday, too. He went up to Sugarloaf, though, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
It
seems like a
skiing
lot.
Too.
Right on.
We
Yeah,
only
it was
took a few runs.
It was
but
beautiful, sunny.
Yeah, it was
chilly.
it was just
Yeah,
windy.
chilly. Cold.
Well, we got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
As we do on this show
It
just
happens.
about every day.
Yeah.
We are going to talk to Tisha about self-leadership coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Monday, March 3rd. And March, by the way, is the month after February.
There it is.
There it is.
We had to get it in
You had
there.
to do it one more time.
Just for the folks at home.
Yeah. The Lewiston City Council will hold a meeting tomorrow night at City Hall. Agenda items include options for a proposed senior tax relief program and solid waste collection for condominiums located on public streets. The meeting will be live streamed on the city's YouTube channel.
Former Maine Center for Disease Control Director Dr. Nirav Shah resigned from his post at the United States CDC. Shah served as deputy director for nearly 2 years. He did not provide information on why he left or where he is going next.
2 Lewiston Fire Department ski teams raised over $40,000 for the Dempsey Center at Saturday's Mary's Firemen for a Cure event at Lost Valley. Since 2004, Mary's Firemen has raised over $330,000 for breast cancer patients in Maine.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And the Auburn Police Department's Neighborhood Watch meeting that was canceled last Thursday has been rescheduled to March 27th at 6 p.m. at the 6th Street Congregational Church.
Want to talk about the weather?
Weather!
Do we want it? Sunny today with a high of 25 and a low of 14. Cloudy tomorrow with a high of 39 and low of 30. Rain on Wednesday with highs in the mid-40s.
In sports, the Bruins lost to the Minnesota Wild. 1-0. Boston will host the Nashville Predators tomorrow night. Are we potentially playoff bound or no at this point?
Still alive,
Yeah.
but hanging by a thread.
It's tight.
Yeah,
okay.
barely.
Okay.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown's 22 points led the Celtics over the Denver Nuggets 110-103. The Celtics host the Portland Trailblazers on Thursday night.
Thank God for the Celtics. The Maine Nordiques will visit the New Jersey Titans on Friday and Saturday.
And the NA3 Nordiques host the Binghamton Buzz on Friday and Saturday at the Colisee.
The Central Maine Community College women's basketball team won its 8th straight Yankee Small College Conference Championship with a 74-61 win over UMaine Augusta. CMCC avenged its only loss of the season, improved its record to 28-1, and earned a spot in the USCAA National Tournament.
And congratulations to the St. Dom's boys basketball team for capturing the Class D state title with a 34-31 win over Skank.
Tight one.
That is a close game.
Tight one and low scoring.
Low.
Yeah. That's your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for March the 3rd, shall we?
All right.
Okay. We're going to start off with Jessica Biel, who's 43 today.
I remember the only movie that I've ever really seen her in was Valentine's Day, and she was so gosh darn relatable in that movie. I couldn't get over how much I loved her. She was so good. She was like the super stressed out sports manager, and she just ate candy all the time. It was very cute. It was good.
She played Erin in the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 2003.
Okay.
She was also in The Rules of Attraction and Blade Trinity and The Illusionist and many others.
Yeah.
Actor David Faustino, 51 years old today.
Bud.
You know him as Bud Bundy on Married with Children. How about Tone Loc? Pam, you're a big fan of the rap and hip-hop scene.
I mean, was he like a one-hit wonder? No, 2.
Oh, he had 2 hits.
The funky
Two
cold
big ones.
Medina.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Tone is 59 today. Real name, Anthony Terrell Smith. Actor Tim Kazurinsky is 75 years old today. He played Carl Sweetchuck in the Police Academy films.
Which one was
I
that?
think 2 through, maybe he was in the original. I don't remember him in the original, but I definitely remember him in the sequels. Yeah, he was also a writer for Saturday Night Live. And rounding out FPBs for March the 3rd is Hattie Winston. She is 80 years old today. She played Margaret on Becker. Anybody see Becker with Ted Danson? It's a good show.
I know you've always said that's a good one.
She also provided the voice for Lucy Carmichael in the Rugrats and the Rugrats movie and all the spin-offs. And she was also a cast member on The Electric Company.
Oh.
Remember that back in the day?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I found a picture of her. She's adorable.
She is. Anywho, those are your FPBs for March the 3rd. I'm sorry, Tisha.
No, it's good. This is fine.
We are usually much
Go
less
with the flow.
professional than we are now. You're invited to join Seniors Plus for their annual Fill the Plate breakfast on Friday, March 21st at the Hilton Garden Inn Riverwatch in Auburn. The event will benefit the Seniors Plus Meals on Wheels program and feature American Idol finalist Julia Gagnon and former Maine legislator Margaret Craven. Reserve your spot today at seniorsplus.org. Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, CEO and owner of Insightful Workplace Solutions, Tisha Bremner, an MIT-trained professional development consultant and nationally board-certified coach dedicated to the advancement of essential people skills.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to just say I don't typically laugh this much on a Monday morning, so it's beautiful. It's
Thank
so
you.
good. It's rounding out my fantastic weekend. So
Yay.
I'm appreciative of you all. Thank you.
Anything about your weekend that you'd like to share?
I went skiing a couple times and had a fantastic
22, as
time.
I recall.
22 runs yesterday. Not a bad day. And
Yeah.
subpar conditions or sub-zero conditions. It was gorgeous.
Right on.
Super fun. Yeah.
Wow. How do you get psyched for
I
below zero
know.
skiing
Yeah.
when you know you're going to be
freezing?
How fast are you going down the hill? Is it like
It depends.
30, 40 miles an hour or
sure,
something?
yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I didn't check. I didn't really look yesterday in terms of what I was doing. But
Okay. I was just curious.
yeah. No, I think that you realize that you can spend some time outside and not die, not freeze to death. And then you're like, I can do this. So it's, the wind chill's going to be -5. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just wear some neoprene and
Well,
shift my mindset and go do it. And don't complain.
Yeah, it kind of matters what you have on your body.
Yeah.
A lot of wool, a lot of neoprene.
Yeah, and I bought a new coat and I bought some new boots and
there you go.
A new helmet. And so I was like styling, feeling
See,
good.
I always intend to go out and enjoy the cold weather, but don't have any neoprene. So there we go. I
guess
just
that's off the table.
hang out and wait for spring.
Did you do anything last week when it was so beautiful? Last Wednesday was like 45 degrees.
Yeah, I was outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yelling at the snow to melt.
I like, did you get the mail? Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here, snow. Go on, get.
No, I got dogs, so we went out and
Yeah.
we went out and played in the nice weather.
Yeah.
Getting outside is just a mindset shift.
Yeah.
It's a mindset shift, mood booster.
We need it.
We do.
The
Absolutely.
sunshine and the fresh air. Yeah, regardless of the temperature.
I will tell you one thing I've never done in the frigid temperatures. I've never started the wrong car.
Oh, well, we're going to be like that today, are we? That's fine.
I made some poor decisions in life, obviously,
Okay. Yeah.
where I don't have an opportunity to start the wrong car. I will work on that. Tisha, before we get to self-leadership, can you give us a little bit of bio on you and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I am an executive coach that offers retreats, professional development, and workshops, and some management trainings and team building experiences, if you will. Yeah, it's super fun. I love it.
I remember the last time you were here. By the time you left, I was ready to run through a wall.
Tell me more.
You had me fired up.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Okay.
And then I got home and it all went away.
Oh, no, what happened? You didn't call me. You were supposed to call me. The breakup happened fast.
That's why we need to keep in touch. I got to send you an email or two. Say, Tisha, I need a quote or something to get me through the
Get that intrinsic motivation going.
right.
I'm all about it.
All right. See, I'm getting fired up again.
Yep, there you go.
Good.
She has that effect on me.
What are you going to do with that?
I don't know. I'm just well, after you leave, I gotta edit our show and then
He'll take a nap.
take a nap and feed the dogs. And let's talk about self-leadership.
So it is a concept that I have been working with for several years. And I want to say lately, I've been either teaching or having coaching conversations with several of my clients. Self-leadership is really an effective way to, I would say, manage your emotions. So learning how to be self-aware, emotionally regulating, to tap into that intrinsic motivation, just as we were talking about.
Yeah.
So what's important to you? What's your purpose? Why are you going to bother to, do whatever it is that you want to do? And it's an aspect of holding ourselves personally accountable so that we can continuously learn, grow, have an impact in the areas that are important to us. And I think it's incredibly important for individuals personally to lean into self-leadership principles, but also for leaders and managers in organizations so that they can influence people in a positive way, get the job done, have the impact that they're looking for. And self-leadership is really about putting yourself in a mindset where you're clear mentally, you're calm emotionally, and you're connected to yourself and your surroundings so that you can see things, again, with a deeper sense of awareness and clarity. And when we do that, what is the quality of our decisions? Do we make good decisions?
I think so.
Rather than being, heated or emotionally dysregulated. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking a lot more about this, especially with the senior leaders who I've been working with, because there's this general sense in a couple of the organizations where they have high potential, high impact employees who are actually emotionally dysregulated. And so rather than just essentially pushing them to the side and not developing them, where they need to take them for the business, using self-leadership principles to show accountability and to model the way in terms of what is appropriate and acceptable behavior. Mm-hmm. And the really fantastic thing is when leaders begin to work with their employees in this way, it actually helps employees to emotionally regulate better. Yeah. So they're not so geared up, not just at work. And I think, gosh, the world today is complicated, and we don't necessarily always know kind of what to believe, in the media, let's say, and it's confusing as heck and scary. Mm-hmm. So if you're not approaching consumption of media in a way that's self-led, you can very easily get emotionally dysregulated. Mm-hmm. And then that comes out in all kinds of ways. It comes out in terms of how you treat yourself, how you treat your partner, how you treat your kid, your dog, Yeah. And then you take that behavior to work. So I'm very, self-leadership is a way to ground ourselves so that we behave appropriately and effectively in all aspects of our lives. Mm-hmm.
And I would think that some people in the position of leadership need this training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes more so than the people that they're leading.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Well, of course, because they are charged. If they're true leaders, they're charged with modeling the way and with inspiring others to get the work done. If you're running around screaming at people, I don't know about you. Like I kind of grew up with some of that. That's not how I want to. That's not the environment that I want to work in, and actually, that's not the environment that's going to get me to bring out the best in what I can offer any situation.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're going to trigger a response.
Yeah.
One of them, either fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Like one of us.
Absolutely. And so self-leadership, and there are more aspects to it than we're going to be able to cover today. But self-leadership is to be able to recognize those triggers or those activators, and to pull yourself back and to be grounded in, again, those appropriate behaviors, those appropriate responses, those appropriate inner narratives. And they help you, self-leadership helps you to critically think about, okay, I'm being activated. It's not about this thing necessarily. This thing is upsetting, but I have a whole history behind me that's informing this. The world is as we are. Mm-hmm. It's not an absolute truth in one way, right? We view the world from our perspective and from our histories. And quite honestly, I think we've had, in the last 5 years, we've had some collective difficult history. Mm-hmm.
I would say collective trauma, if you will.
I know. I feel like I overuse that word, but that's how I see it. I was actually talking to some friends yesterday, and one of them who is a prominent lawyer in our community, and who says, the cases that we deal with are, our staff, everyone faces vicarious trauma. So how does that impact your perception of the world? I actually believe people are really good, and the world is an amazing place. Do we all believe? Sometimes I question that, right? These experiences, but like at the essence of it, and so that shapes my perspective, and it shapes my ability to trust people and to believe in the best in people. So,
have you always had this outlook?
Yeah.
See, that's
Mark's like, really?
But how?
See, Sarah has that outlook too.
I do.
And you always have.
I always have.
And I'm wondering if it can be learned.
I absolutely think it can be. And I think it's just a matter of stepping back. And it was interesting. I'm taking a course with Yale right now, and the professor, it's called Connected Leadership. And the professor says, stand on the balcony. Take a step back, stand on the balcony, and see the things as they are. Get clear, get calm, get connected to yourself. And then you see all the good. We neglect seeing the good, and we always find the things that are wrong. That's just how our fight, flight, freeze, fawn system works. It keeps us safe. That part of our brain is the least evolved part of our brain, and it's not necessarily true. So yesterday, I was amazed. I was skiing. I was a little cold, and I was with some friends who were having some very engaging conversations, and I paused for a moment and just looked at the quality of the light. Mm. Look at the quality of the light. Look at how it reflects on things. I mean, it's beautiful, even when you're freezing. So we're how do you want to view the world? Do you want to view the world as a nasty place? You'll find it. Do you want to view the world and people as an amazing place? You'll find it. Yep. And I want to say, I always laugh, like, I have the best job in the world, and I'm the lowest person on the totem pole in every organization that I work with, I think, because I have zero ability to say, do this. Really.
Right.
And that's appropriate as a coach and as a consultant. And in working with people, when you get real, and you learn about who they are, what their vision, what their values is, how they want to share their voice, there's amazing intelligence in that. It's amazing. So this belief that I've had since I was a kid, I was kind of a naive kid. I remember watching like Woody Woodpecker and thinking, gosh, why does there always have to be this antagonistic relationship? Life isn't like that. Life is not always antagonistic. But when you're sitting with people and you're seeing the truth of who they are, when you're seeing self-leadership emerge in people, it reinforces that there is an essential good. And I joke around, I'm like, probably in 99% of us. There's some people I would say, I don't know, and I don't have the answer for that. I don't quite understand it, but most of us do. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it's very inspiring.
Yeah.
So let's go take down those walls.
Let's do it.
What are we doing today? And when you use these capacities as a leader, you actually build trust. And you build your ability to influence and to foster a more collaborative relationship that brings out the best in people. So then they actually start to see it themselves. Mm-hmm.
When you think about an organization that you've worked in before, and you have, there's always a couple of people at the top. The people that you go to are the people who are calm and always consistent and collected. But if you have that leadership option, like you have that one person who sometimes flies off the handle, but you have that other person who's just always calm and collected, regardless of where they are in the chain of command, like they may not be the top. That's the person you're going to go to.
Yeah, you trust them. They will help you.
That's the person who you trust to lead.
Yeah. And that is a leader.
Right.
That is leadership. It's not flying off the handle. And I mean, who doesn't fly off the handle? A lot of what's going on is happening inside. It's internal. Right. And so when you're berating yourself, regardless of where you are in the organization, what are you reinforcing? And that's actually not a self-leadership principle. Right. And we all do it. So, recognize that. It's our humanity.
Our inner voices are so much meaner to ourselves than anything I would never say the things to Pam that I say to myself. Like I would, if someone said anything to Pam, like I say to myself, I'd smack them. Like you're so much meaner inside your head than you are outwardly.
Absolutely. And I think that affects how we show up. And that's a part of what I work with leaders as well. I'm thinking of just one gentleman who had all of the technical skills and had the opportunity a couple of years ago to become a director of a big area in the organization where he works. And that's what we talked about, is how can he build his own confidence so that he could do the job better and trust all of his knowledge. And he has this really amazing ability to collaborate well with people, but he was second guessing himself. So we spent about 18 months just working on that piece, and has made some incredible strides for himself personally, but also for the organization. And I can't share all the things, but it's cool and impacting this community in such a strong way that we would all celebrate.
Overcoming imposter syndrome is a huge, huge hurdle for, I think, a lot of people. So that's great that you tap into that and can push people past their own self-doubt. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's always about helping us get out of our own way. Myself included. I mean, I shared with you my little ski story yesterday. I took a lesson and I thought I was going to get one coach, and I ended up getting a different coach, and I was like, I don't want that coach. What's he going to teach me? So I was a little quiet on the first couple of runs, and I'm noticing myself, and I'm like, why am I being so fixed with this? Oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing that I coach people not to do. And then I step back and I watch him just ease in, develop the relationship, ask me some questions. Mm-hmm. He interjected some humility and said, I've been skiing for 30 years and I thought I was a great skier until I came here and learned some technical things. Maybe I can show you one or two things. I was like, oh, he's doing it. And then we did, and he saw more potential in me than I was ready for. And he's like, great, keep doing those two things and let's add two more things. And I said, I don't trust you enough yet. No. And he's like, okay, keep doing it. And then when I did it, he was, just reinforcing the technique. And some of it is like, you lean toward the downhill. Oh, that's a little scary. Mm-hmm. And when you do it, it works. And you're like, okay, maybe this guy knows what he's talking about, right?
Sounds like he could have been one of your clients.
Yeah, he was doing the thing that I would do. He had some skills. And I finally said to him, I was like, yeah, so I'm a coach too, and I really appreciate what you did.
Cool.
But and then he gave me two more things, and it worked. I was like, okay, all right, thank you. I mean, we were almost hugging in the end after 2 hours, but we get in our own way. I know it did. So hey, sometimes we can all be stubborn, but and depending on where you're coming from, like there's a whole story behind it, but whatever. But to have someone who can see your blind spot, this is what I shared with him. I was like, coaching is about seeing someone's blind spot and their potential, and then helping them to see their blind spot and to find their own potential. That's incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it happens for all of us. So
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope it's relatable.
It is, absolutely, especially since it happened to you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, so we all do it.
Yeah.
We all do it.
For sure.
And I think that the piece around confidence and agency with managers and leaders is they actually believe that they have to do it perfectly. It doesn't happen. Because if we do it perfectly, then we're fixed and we're rigid and we don't learn and we don't grow. Mm-hmm. And we stay in our way. That's why I have the best job. Get to see the blind spot. Again, we all have it. And then listen to what the person is looking for and help them find that potential. And then when they do, like I did, I typically don't get tips. I tip the guy, of course, right? The ski instructor. I never get tips, obviously, but it's energizing.
How do we get to a place where we can manage our emotions? I'm not asking you to give us the entire course here, but just a couple of tips.
That'll be next time. The first thing is to recognize them and to understand the why behind, to some extent. Like, you don't have to go deep into your history, but understand, I would say, the piece of you that doubts yourself behind the dysregulated emotions, or the piece that is not getting your essential needs met.
Do you find that being one of the hardest things when you're working with, I guess, maybe some people, is for them to recognize a piece?
Yeah, no. They just, what I find the hardest thing is that people don't have the framework or the language. They have an inner knowing, and they're typically like, this just didn't feel right, and I can see this potential in this person, but I have no idea how to help get them there. So I think having evidence-based frameworks is really important. So one of the frameworks that I use is a collaborative communication framework that talks about what are the things that you are observing, not interpretations or judgments, sheer observations, and how does that make you feel? And not faux feelings, but like deep feelings of I'm sad, I'm disgusted, I'm excited, real feelings. And how are those feelings tied to if your needs are getting met or not? And our negative emotions come from when our essential needs are not being met. And then what can you do personally to meet those needs for yourself? And what requests you have of others so that those needs get met? And then just establishing appropriate expectations with follow-through so that there's personal accountability and accountability among your team members. And that's all like I would say that's all encompassing of self-leadership practices. So helping people just get very clear. And so our needs, our values, the priorities, the things that are important to us. And just using that model time and time again. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO of an organization. I've used it, there, or if you're someone who, might be an entry-level employee. And I taught a management course last month, like a good to great. It's a new course that I'm bringing out this year. The greatest feedback that came back. So we had 11 new managers from different industries, banking to all the way to like transportation and manufacturing, several organizations. And the greatest feedback that I got back was, you actually taught me how to hold people accountable through this model. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. But cool. So yeah. I just followed up after, almost a couple months and said, how is it going? What questions do you have? What did you learn?
Yeah.
I don't know any organization who would, poo-poo having a little bit more accountability.
No. Nope. No. In fact, completely the opposite.
Yeah.
Most organizations are looking for much more.
Mm-hmm. Right,
yeah.
Right. And then how to do it in a way that is intrinsically motivating to people so they actually align with their value to do a good job. Most of us have that value.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think anybody shows up for work thinking, I'm going to do a terrible job today. No. They want to do a good job.
I agree. I agree. And then what gets in the way of them not doing that great job?
Yeah.
How
do we find it?
Who is it? Yeah, it's pretty easy for me to find it.
Yeah. you know what you're looking for.
But where does it start?
Yeah.
It's like to me, this isn't 100%, but whenever I see kids acting up, I don't blame the kid, typically. Like, okay.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
Someone's needs are not being met.
Yeah. Did the parent did the parent set appropriate boundaries to help this kid get appropriate nutrition and enough sleep and to know what is expected?
Yeah.
And their kids are always pushing it. So, don't beat yourself up if your kid acts up. It's a normal thing. But I know the girls in my family, when they've had too much sugar, there's that behavior. Who's monitoring their sugar? Mm-hmm. Should it be them? I don't know.
Probably not. Yeah.
They try, boy. They're pushers. They're like, I want to have. I took them out over February break. I took them out to lunch and then to the movies. And they're like, well, can we go get some candy? And can we please have soda at lunch? Or how about a lemonade if we can't have soda? And we definitely need a slushie at the movies. And I said, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah.
You can get a large, whatever. Pick one. Our parents let us pick two. Like, you have amazing parents, and I'm not that parent.
Aren't you lucky?
I know, but I did let him have two.
You did.
I'm grandma.
They're pushing the boundaries.
They're pushing the boundaries, yeah. I don't want to have a totally bad report. I shared this with Pam. I retook the DISC personality style assessment, and I am like driver. I am super high D, which is like, what's the point? Why are we here? We're going to get down to the business. What result? Like, so results oriented. Mm-hmm. If I ruffle some feathers, well,
so be it.
Be self-led. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You're not being self-led enough if I'm ruffling your feathers. It's not my problem. It's your problem.
I'm sorry. You need help with self-leadership? Maybe I can help you.
No, but another aspect of self-leadership is that we are all responsible for our own stuff, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What a concept.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine that.
What a concept.
Accountability. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tisha, is there anything else about self-leadership or insightful workplace solutions that you would like to share with our listeners?
Yes, I would say the one thing that I do in my business is to help leaders and organizations not only define their goals, but to achieve their goals by utilizing frameworks that help them to make decisions and also to bring out the best in people. So learning the interpersonal skills in those frameworks help people to achieve results.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the LA area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
locally owned and locally focused. Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. Tisha, as you know, as a previous guest on the show, we like to end with a segment called 3 Random Questions.
Oh, boy.
That's right. Oh boy. So we're each going to ask you a question.
Okay.
I will start. Give me 3 songs on your playlist that get you ready for a day at Lost Valley.
Oh, yeah. So, 3 might be hard, but one of my favorites is Eye of the Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow,
so,
classic.
Yeah, very classic.
Love it.
So that's the song.
Okay.
I'm pretty basic. You
Okay.
know, 3. I don't know that I need 3. I can just repeat the same song
Hey.
over and over
Needs to
again
be
and
one
be
by Dr. Dre.
very happy.
Pam will fill in the other 2 with gangsta rap.
Okay. All right, Pam. Yeah.
It'll get you going.
I have a question. What is an irrational superstition that you have?
Fear of heights. Yeah. Totally irrational.
Okay.
Yeah. I can.
Not a superstition, though.
No, I don't. Is it superstition? No, I don't know. I don't have any irrational superstitions.
No.
I mean, maybe that vampires still exist, and on very, very dark nights, going out into my backfield, that they could be there. That's probably the. But I saw Salem's Lot as a young kid, so I was like unmonitored child.
Feral. That's what I call it.
Yeah,
Feral.
yeah, and that stuck with me. So every once in a while, be like, oh, they're out there.
It's amazing how stuff we see as kids has a lasting imprint on us for the rest of our lives.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It really does. It does. And in terms of self-leadership, it says that you can actually heal yourself from some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you talk yourself through. Okay, there are no vampires. That was a movie. Take 3 breaths. Go get the cat so she doesn't get eaten by the coyotes. And get back in the house and lock the door.
Yeah.
And wrap yourself in a blanket.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You can self-soothe later.
Don't invite any strangers into your house.
All right. Pam has
All
a
right.
gangster rap question
Oh,
for you.
boy. Oh, boy.
It's not. But if you could adopt anyone as your best friend, who would it be? Like someone you know of but have never met, but you feel like would be fun and.
I don't know. I feel like I have my best friend already.
Well, that's not a fun answer.
I know. It's not a fun answer. I am not fun.
What if you could have a bestie group and you could invite this person into your bestie group?
I don't know. Give me some choices. What's possible?
Anything's possible.
I know.
Abraham Lincoln, Harriet
Lowe.
Tubman, Tone Lowe, Jennifer Lopez.
Those are all music. I mean,
Abraham Lincoln, Harriet Tubman, Jennifer Lopez. One of these things is not like the other.
I don't know.
One of
Maybe
these
she likes Jenny from the block. I don't know.
are there any even like instructors or like authors or I don't know.
I know,
Since
you
you're such
guys.
an
I'm
intellectual.
helpless. I'm
Maybe
so
my
helpless.
favorite thing you've ever done. Just now.
I don't know because I always want to give very thoughtful answers, but gosh, Maya Angelou.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just talk to her all day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just ask
Think of the
her.
brunches.
Sure. Yeah.
So many brunches.
So many brunches.
Sunday fun day.
Yeah, I just definitely someone who has a broad perspective who I could learn from and see the world in a much different way.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
I would
And
Good
someone with a
answer.
lot of heart. I would say Maya Angelou. Just right off the top. But there are so many people I'm missing, so
Yeah, I would pick Carol Burnett.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All
would
right.
pick Carol Burnett. I want to hang with her so bad.
Yeah. I would also, so now you're inspiring me, I would add Jane Fonda to that
Oh,
list.
she is
Okay.
very inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet she's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Oh, we got deep.
Yeah.
We got deep here. Yeah. You say you're not fun, Tisha, but we did a lot of laughing in the past hour.
We sure did.
And I think we were laughing at me, which is
No.
good. It's good. I appreciate that. I was laughing at me.
Well, we hope you had fun.
Definitely.
And
Always. You
we
guys
look
are the
forward to
best.
having you back. She is Tisha Bremner, CEO and owner of Insightful Workplace Solutions. And if you'd like more info, you can go online to insightfulworkplace.com. Thanks to our sponsors for today, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam, our resident gangsta rapper. Via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com.